Are you thinking about making a move to Utah? Well, you have many choices, and you also have a lot of questions. You probably don't know where to start. So I'm going to help to try and break all this down. So on this video, let's talk about living in Utah and things that will help you decide where to live. So let's get after it right now. Welcome to the Living in Utah channel. I'm Mike Gallagher. I'm a local real estate agent right here in the local area. On this channel, we talk everything about the state of Utah. Eating, sleeping, drinking, playing. If this is your first time to my channel, you may consider tapping that subscribe button down below, hitting that bell notification so you don't miss any new content. And apart from making videos, I also help people buy or sell real estate right here in the local area, and we absolutely love it. So if I can be of any assistance, give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email, 7 days a week. We got your back when moving to the U state. As you're looking at the state of Utah, I guess first of all, you need to decide if you want to live in northern Utah or southern Utah. They are two different areas, and they are separated by many miles of travel, probably about 250 miles. Now, there are small towns in between, but for the most part, the larger cities like St. George, Salt Lake City, they're a distance apart. Some people love northern Utah. Some people hate it. Some people love southern Utah. Some people hate it. It's kind of like the political thing. Some people like one party, while some people like the other party. Or you can take a little from one and a little from another. And what do I mean by that? Well, many Utahns do this exact same thing. They live in southern Utah during the winter months, and during the summer months, they move to northern Utah. And then we move on to expansion and growth. Let's say you're looking at the cities of Ogden, Salt Lake City, Provo. Well, these cities are pretty much built out. There's not much more room for growth. Now, there's plenty of areas around those cities that are still growing. But keep in mind, our population growth has been going up and up and up. And that will continue in the future. There does not seem to be any end in sight. So these cities on the outskirts are going to fill up fast. And that's one of the biggest complaints that I hear about. These cities are not only growing with residential houses and townhomes and condos, but they're also growing with commercial businesses. That's when people get upset. They don't like the gas stations moving in, the Walmarts, the car washes, the sky-high apartment buildings, 4 or 5 stories high, blocking people's views of the mountains. This is going to happen as these cities grow. They also need commercial business. And another topic that comes up, what area to live in? I get people sometimes that are looking from Ogden to Provo, and they'll call me and say, "Hey Mike, can you help?" And it's like, no, that's a massive area. There's probably 2.5 million people living between Ogden and Provo. You have to dial it down to a smaller area, maybe a 5, 10, 15, 20 mile radius. So I encourage people to have a phone call with me on potential areas, or maybe go on the internet, do some research on particular cities, or maybe a particular county. It makes it a lot easier to try to find the ideal home or townhome or condo that you're looking for. So when you're deciding on an area, you may want to consider HOA fees. Now, in general, the newer the community, the more chances it may have an HOA. Now, some people love HOAs. Some people hate HOAs. I'm not a big fan of HOAs. I've never liked them. I kind of like my own freedom. I'm not a big fan of someone telling me what color my front door can be. But my dad, on the other hand, he loves his HOA. Well, he's 80 years old, and he has a home located in an HOA. Well, he travels a lot, and he really doesn't want to do the yard work or have time to do the yard work. So in general, it suits him just fine. Also, if you're looking at townhomes, most are in an HOA. And if you're looking for an investment property, a rental, whether it's a townhome or a home, and it's in an HOA, you might want to find out, do they allow rentals? Also, I've seen some where only a certain percentage of the properties are allowed to be rentals. And let me explain that a little further. Let's say there is 100 townhomes or homes in this community. They may say only 50% can be rental units. So you'll have to find out how many are currently being rented to see if yours can be added to the list. Let's talk about new construction versus resale. Now, I've done many videos on my channel about the exact same topic, pros and cons. In today's market, I'm talking about right now, I have a word of caution. Builders are struggling, not just in Utah, around the country, where it's a small builder or a large builder. So be careful. I worry about some of these builders going out of business and you possibly losing money. Now, there are rumors out there about some builders that may not make it, some subcontractors that are not being paid. Some of those rumors may be true, some maybe not. So be careful. Let's talk about different home styles in Utah. So when we're looking at a single family residence, you can purchase a ranch style home or a rambler home. They can come with or without a basement. Now, if it is without a basement, it's typically referred to as a slab on grade home. Gets the term because they pour the slab for the foundation, build the home up from there. Sometimes these homes are referred to as patio homes. You can get a multi-level home, 2 floors, 3 floors, 4 floors. Once again, with or without a basement. Townhomes, most of the townhomes are multi-level, 2 floors, 3 floors, but I've seen some 1-level townhomes out there, and I've also seen some townhomes with basements. Now, the last 2 items is more on the rare side, a little bit harder to find. Let's talk about which way your home faces, north, south, east, west. Why does it matter, Mike? Let me explain. In northern Utah, and also this can apply in southern Utah. Let's say you have a home that is facing the north. The driveway points towards the north. It will get very little sun exposure during the winter months. Makes it harder to thaw the ice and the snow on the driveway. How about a south-facing home? This is great for melting snow. You will receive sun exposure most of the day. I once lived in a home that was facing to the south. My motto was, in the morning, I would not scrape off the driveway with the snow. I would wait till I got home to see if the sun had already done the job for me. So if you have an east-facing home, one in which the driveway points towards the east, during the winter months, you will receive sun just in the morning to help melt the driveway. Also, during the summer months, if you spend a lot of time in your backyard in the evenings, you will have the sun blazing on you from the west. It can get a little bit warm. Now, if you have a west-facing home, one where the driveway is pointing towards the west, in the winter months, you will get partial sunshine on your driveway to help melt the snow and the ice, mostly in the afternoons. During the summer months, if you enjoy your backyard, your deck, you barbecue a lot, you will be shaded from the sun that comes from the west, and you will be able to enjoy your backyard with some shade. Also, with the direction that the home faces, sometimes builders will put a premium price on west-facing homes. I've seen developments where you go down the street and on one side of the street, you'll get 1/4 acre lots, typically on the east side of the street. And on the west side of the street, you will get 1/3 of an acre lot for the same price. The benefits on 1/3 acre, you get a little bit more land. But on the 1/4 acre, you have the luxury in the evenings during the summer months of being shaded from the sun that comes from the west. It's a tough decision to make. Let's back up a moment to areas to live in. If you're planning a trip to Utah, get a hold of me. I can provide you some data on homes that have sold in a particular area. I think it's a great tool. A lot of people really enjoy this. When they get to Utah, they get in the car, they can drive these neighborhoods, get a feeling for what the neighborhoods feel like, what they look like. Sometimes it's the best tool to help you decide on which neighborhood to live in. Now, I do video tours every single day of homes that are for sale, and I'm glad to do that. What I cannot recreate is that feeling that you get inside when you're in a particular city that tells you, this is my town. Also, when choosing an area, make a list of what is important to you. Maybe your school district, a particular school is important, a particular college, maybe a certain church that you would like to attend on a regular basis, maybe recreational activities. Maybe you'd like to buy a season pass to the ski resort and you want to ski as much as you can. You probably don't want to live an hour and a half away from that particular ski resort. Maybe you'd like to be real close to work so you can run home during lunch hours, take care of odds and ends. Make a list. Let me give you an example. Maybe you're a college football fan, like myself. So maybe you want to support the BYU football team or basketball team. You probably would want to live in the Provo, Orem, or the surrounding cities to the stadium. After all, if you lived in, say, North Salt Lake or Ogden, you have a long commute to go to a game. Well, let's say on the other hand, you support the Utah Utes, and living in the Provo, Orem area would probably be a no-go for me. It's an hour to an hour and a half one way, plus game time, ride home. Wow, 6 hours for one football game. So make your list of what is important to you, and I can help you narrow down things once I know what is at the top of your list. And in conclusion, if you enjoyed that video, please give it a thumbs up. I really appreciate that. And if you have any kind of questions, reach out to me. Glad to answer anything that I can. Until the next video, take care and stay safe.